I'm Tom Grassi, a New York City comedian and diehard Green Bay Packers fan for almost 20 years.
In the end zone, it is caught for the win. Richard Rodgers with a walk-off touchdown. A game ender for the Packers.
In 2015, I created a podcast where each week I talk to fans from opposing teams to share their story and to get yelled at for about an hour for being a Packers fan. Last year, I met amazing people and went to amazing places. And this year, I'm ready to do it all over again.
Make no mistake about it, I will be remembered as a Packer.
Enjoy the show. Grossi Posse Packer Nation, welcome to another episode of Packcast, the podcast where you don't have to be a Packers fan, but it sure does help, and the Green Bay Packers have beat the Seattle Seahawks 38-10. I'm excited, you're excited. Unless you're a Seahawks fan, then you are not excited. An absolutely fantastic game from a Packers fan perspective. I mean, the Seahawks have we talked about this last week, that the Seahawks have kind of been like the thorn in the side for the Packers for the past 4 meetings that they've had. Of course, you have the terrible, terrible games, Fail Mary, NFC Championship game, and it seems that the Seahawks have always had the Packers' number. But man, oh man, not today. We completely crushed them, 38-10, and it was an incredible game from the offense. It was an incredible game from the defense. I mean, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, and Aaron Rodgers coming out and saying, you know, he feels that this team can run the table. If this team continues to play the way that it does, we could beat any team in the National Football League, and that's the truth. And this table right now, I feel like we are officially running on it. I also, continuing, if you've seen the past 2 weeks, the past 2 episodes, the Magic Dog jersey has done it again. We are now 3-0 when I dress up my dog in this Packers dog jersey. So I am going to continue that until I suck every single ounce of magic out of that. And absolutely, it's a phenomenal feeling. And I saw Seahawks fans complaining, saying that Packer fans were like being ridiculous. They were being outrageous. And listen, we're kind of just giving back what you give us. I mean, it's tough for you to kind of stand on a high horse and be like, well, they're just being immature. When you do, I mean, you could go back and look the way that the Seahawks fans have treated Packer fans. I don't care because the Packers beat the Seahawks. So let's take a look at it. Rodgers, 18 for 23, didn't throw that much again. 246, 3 TDs. The big story coming out of this today, besides him being fantastic, was that he has that injury, and now it looks like there's something wrong with his right leg as well. He was hobbling all over the field, and it looked to get steadily worse as the day went on. He got pulled with about 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter. He was still smiling on the sidelines. I mean, I just gotta hope for the best, because if we are going to make a run for this, we need Rodgers to be healthy, considering Jared Cook went down again with a chest injury, which is a very, very big negative. So I have to think that hopefully Rodgers is okay. It looks like he got pulled because of injury and not really because of the score when we were up by like about 3 or 4 touchdowns. And so this is it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next few days, kind of what gets announced about Aaron and his condition. But we'll see. Montgomery had a great game, 9 for 41 rushing. He also had a TD, which is our 3rd TD of the year that's not done by Aaron Rodgers. And he was also 3 for 45 through the air. Adams, after a anemic week last week, came back in a big way, 4 for 104 and 1 TD, a very long, awesome TD to start the game off. Nelson had 2 touchdowns as well. But it wasn't just a game about the offense. Christine Michael ran hard. He went, the one time, of course, was the 4th and 1 that McCarthy decided to go for it. Didn't work out in his favor. McCarthy also challenged the Nelson catch, which wasn't a catch, and I think everyone else knew it was a catch. For some reason, he burned that timeout. Didn't really understand that, but other than that, I think McCarthy called a good game. The defense played amazing. Wilson's stats, 22 for 39, 240, 1 TD, and 5 interceptions. 5. I mean, 2 of those are tip balls, not really his fault, but man, that defense played well. We got a total of 6 turnovers. An incredible day for our defense. This is what a healthy Packers defense can do against a very good Seahawks team. I was extremely impressed by both facets of this team today. Just amazing. The offensive line played incredibly well again. Rodgers just got sacked once and near the very, very end. Of course, this is the time now. There's only 3 games left that we're starting to take a look at what other teams are doing. The Bears almost pulled a huge upset against the Lions, which would have been extremely helpful for the Packers' playoff hopes. But I have to say, like, this is starting to feel very 2010-ish. Listen, we've been doing this for the past couple weeks now. Just take one game at a time. But we're in that final 3-game stretch in which we're taking on the Bears and we're taking on the Vikings and the Lions. So if the Lions can lose just one of those games, and besides us, so Cowboys or Giants, which I think they can be beat in either of those games, the Packers have a chance of taking this division. But the Lions and the Vikings won today. But Stafford did injure his throwing hand. He's playing with a glove, and taking a look at his stats with a glove on, I mean, they aren't so good. So going up against 3 really good teams in a row for the Lions, that's going to be a tough road for them. So we'll kind of see. And I'm not ready to completely count the Vikings out either. They beat Jacksonville. It's going to be interesting when we play them in 2 weeks, as always. So the main focus is going to be on the Bears this week, of course, and it's in Chicago. It's going to be a hostile environment. I'm not falling asleep on the Bears, even though they obviously haven't been playing up to their potential this year. But I'm feeling good. I'm feeling energetic, and we've been calling for a blowout for, it feels like 2 seasons now that we've been just calling for a huge blowout because we just haven't had one in quite some time. This felt good. Like, this felt very, very good. And you know what? This isn't our Super Bowl. This isn't anything like that. But this was a week where we put the game away early. And listen, there was the onside kick. And of course, they showed the onside kick from the NFC Championship game. And the PTSD came all flying back. But this was a great win for our team. This was a great win for our fans. And I was extremely happy to be a part of it. So, with that being said, let's focus on the Bears. We will have our interview with the Bears fan on Thursday, as always. You'll find that on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Music. That's Packcast, Packast. You can always find me, Tom Grossi, at TomGrossiComedy.com, TomGrossi Comedy, or at Tom Grossi Comedy on Twitter. Check me out. Go check out the Packers subreddit. Right now, my dog is the #1 thing on the Packers subreddit. It's absolutely incredible. Let me know what you thought this week's Packers fan. I want to hear from you. Last week I heard from you. Let me hear from you again. This win had to feel good for you. And I want to thank you for watching. Thanks for tuning in so much. I'll see you on Thursday. And as always, go Pack, go.